Hello, I'm Michael Diamond, and you're watching Muscle Central. The question I'm going to ask in this video is, will we ever see Phil Heath back on the Olympia stage, or any competitive bodybuilding stage for that matter? Let's go back a little bit, a few months before this past Mr. Olympia. We would see pictures of Phil, and 7 to 8 weeks out, he looked to be where he would need to be if he was competing. I think at that point, he had the intentions on competing again. But keep in mind, this was also before the legal issues with Sean Roden had surfaced. I think he was expecting to come back to the Olympia and to do battle with Sean Roden, the man who took the title from him. That was his motivating force. That was what was driving him to compete again. He wanted to avenge that loss to Roden and take back the title. Once Roden was taken out of the equation, I think the motivating factor was gone. And I think at that point he decided he's going to step away. He's not going to compete. Will he come back in 2020 to compete? Well, the Roden factor is totally out the window now. If he comes back in 2020, and keep in mind, he doesn't have to qualify. Once you've won the Mr. Olympia, you're qualified for life. So if he does choose to compete on the Olympia stage, the champion is Brandon Curry. Now the question is, will Phil Heath be able to beat Brandon Curry? Now, granted, Brandon wasn't extremely impressive in his win as far as the conditioning he brought in, but nonetheless, he brought to the show what he needed to win. Brandon has consistently, year after year, since he joined forces with the Oxygen Gym, the Camel Crew, he has consistently improved. Brandon Curry has great genetics. There's no question about that. Structurally, he's better than Phil. He's wider shoulders, narrow waist. Even Phil Heath, at his best, didn't have as small a waist as Brandon Curry has. Brandon Curry comes back now. He's the defending champion. He has the motivation to validate his win, that it wasn't a fluke. Brandon Curry comes in a little bigger and he nails his conditioning. Will Phil Heath be able to beat him? Even Phil Heath fixing his gut issues, if he comes in with a nice tight waist, I'm not so sure that he's going to be able to beat an improved Brandon Curry, a little bigger, and if he nails his conditioning, that's a tough task. So, and he doesn't have that driving, motivating factor in avenging his loss to Roden anymore. And beyond the Olympia, what else is there for him to compete in? There's the Arnold Classic, which he's never won before. That's a possibility. Will he do it? I'm not too sure he's going to want to do that either. We've seen some pictures of Ramy very recently at 325 pounds. We've seen Ramy before off season at 325, but we never saw him looking the way he does now with the conditioning that he has now at this weight. Can he beat Ramy if he comes in nailing his conditioning? I'm not too sure about that. So what point is it for him now? He's already established his legacy. He doesn't need to compete now to make money. He has business ventures going on. He can continue touring, doing guest appearances, doing seminars. He can make his money like that. He doesn't necessarily need to compete anymore to make a living. Whatever you might think of Phil Heath, he's not a stupid man. I think if he sits back and he thinks about it, he's going to realize that there's no need for him to compete. He can make a living without it. He's already established himself a 7-time Mr. Olympia. That is no small feat by any means. Is he going to step on the Olympia stage again? And my personal opinion is no. Will we ever see him competing again at all? My opinion, no. If you agree with me or disagree with me, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share, and by all means subscribe. This is Michael Diamond, and I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.